Off top, 5'5", 180-pound Darren Sproles once squatted 818 pounds. Play the music.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.
Welcome to the Domonique Foxworth Show. I'm Domonique Foxworth, sitting here with Charlie Kravitz late at night after a shocker of a game. I mean, it wasn't what we expected before it happened. And then while we watched the Pacers beat the Thunder.
One thing, before we get to the NBA Finals.
What?
Darren Sproles is a 10-pound baby at birth.
Well, I stole that off top. I had a different off top lined up that I'll save for a future date. But you're stumbling down a rabbit hole somehow. I don't know how you got here, but you're looking at Darren Sproles' weightlifting numbers and his birth weight, which is shocking.
He was nicknamed Tank because he was a 10-pound baby.
But he did not turn out to be a tank. I was 180 pounds.
You're 180 pounds at 5'5". You're like a tankito.
Yeah. He is a little tank. All right.
I mean, basketball. Sorry, we did just come off an incredibly exciting finals game, but is that more exciting than Darren Sproles being a 10-pound baby?
It may not be as newsworthy, but it's probably more surprising. But Lou Dort almost had the Lou Dort game, and he was like a 10-pound baby.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're coming off this NBA Finals game one where the watching experience is very interesting. The Pacers had 25 turnovers. They are averaging 13 turnovers a game going into this. It felt like they were dead in the water multiple times. They went down by 15 and pulled out another game with the Haliburton buzzer beater with 0.3 seconds left when it ended up being a 13-2 run to close the game. It's an interesting spot because it felt like they were dead the whole time. It felt like the Thunder defense was annihilating them and the Thunder were just missing shots. But the Pacers, they had 25 turnovers. On the other hand, they shot 46% on 39 threes in the game. Right. So I want to start with this. Off your viewing experience, how repeatable is this for the Pacers? Because you have to imagine some of the turnovers and there could be regression to the mean on all of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and this is just like a knee-jerk reaction to the game. It did not at any point feel like the Pacers were comfortable.
No.
And it did not at any point feel like they were into an offensive rhythm that felt sustainable and repeatable and like they had figured something out about the Thunder. As ridiculous as that sounds, given the fact that they came back and they reduced the turnovers in the second half and they ended up winning, even Haliburton's shot didn't look like a Haliburton shot. Like he didn't get to a spot. He took the most inefficient shot in the game. It's like no one really wants to take a one step inside the 3-point line jumper, which it sounds ridiculous because they won, but it felt like there were so many like loose ball scrambles, wide open threes for Obi Toppin. It just felt like
Obi Toppin 5 for 8 from 3.
It just felt like at no point did it feel like they figured them out defensively. So it does not feel repeatable, but I don't know. It feels silly to count this Pacer team out now, given what they've done so far in the playoffs.
The crazy part is like the swings at the end. You know, they had a couple of these runs. They had a 12-2 run and then the end of the game with the 13-2 run. Both times the Thunder ended up pushing the lead back to 8, and then they, chipped away until the Pacers eventually won. But I had such an emotional swing watching the end of that game because it's like there was the loose ball where Carlisle reviewed it. It was off Siakam, and they were hoping for the proximal content from Cason Wallace. And it felt like once that the Pacers didn't get that call, I was like, okay, OKC's going to win that game. They're up by 1. They inbound the ball to Shea. Shea can't really get space. He had a moment where he's like, should I griff this? And the guy didn't jump. He missed the shot. And then coming down the floor, it's just like, oh, Haliburton's going to win this game. Even though it's a bad shot. Like, he has done this so much. He's hit 6 game-winning shots. And as the non-Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I love the graphic that was called in by Rich Paul. That was this is the most game winners since 1997, so we can take out Jordan out of it.
It's funny because I just asked you who hit the most game winners in NBA history because I just looked it up and we knew it was Jordan. And then they put up this graphic that didn't make any sense until we read the fine print. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, LeBron did it.
Yeah, Rich Paul and Adele were on a couch together being like, get this graphic up now for our man.
I assumed you were going to do the British accent.
The Adele voice.
Yeah, nope, I don't want it.
Adele.
I said, no, I don't want it. I just assumed you would. I don't want it. It's funny that you said I thought that the game was won at that late point in the game. I felt like there were 10 times in this game
in the first
starting
quarter.
in the first quarter.
Yes. They couldn't. The Pacers couldn't initiate offense. They were turning the ball over so much.
They felt like they just got stuck and would throw the ball into the backcourt. Like that happened twice where Obi Toppin just launched the ball into the backcourt and they couldn't do anything about it. So there were so many times through the course of this game where I was like, yep, this is what we expected. Are you going to have like I feel like I've already answered this question for myself. I'd be interested to hear what you think. Has your like outlook on this series changed much at all? Because you seem pretty adamant.
Yeah,
as have most people, that the Pacers were going to lose this.
I didn't leave this game thinking that the Pacers are close to as good as the Thunder.
Right.
That's for sure. There's certainly vibes of 01 Lakers 76ers here with the Iverson step over and that being their moment. And then, I mean, obviously it's also the most famous moment of that finals, and Haliburton's run and the Pacers' run is going to be famous regardless. But like, I'm tough on this because I do think the Thunder are clearly better. They're clearly deeper. I think they have more options, and we could see the Pacers grabbing at strings. But there's some Team of Destiny vibes with the Pacers. Like, it's hard to have these 6-game winning shots. You're getting insane performances from Obi Toppin. Nembhard becomes incredibly clutch down the stretch. Like Siakam stays excellent. Nesmith is just like a bull, like a genuine bull in the china shop out there. And they got the Thunder to play small. They got Chet and Hartenstein off the floor for periods. So yeah, I still think the Thunder are going to win. I'm not backing off of that after this game. I think it'd be wild to, but like, you know, they stole another game from this, and that's what flipped the Knicks series. Is you steal games, it becomes much more difficult to win in the NBA playoffs because it's like, you know, like Simmons on his podcast is always like, it's tough to win 5 and 7, right, which is essentially what the Thunder have to do now.
Yeah, and I mean the first game, I guess we learned this somewhat from LeBron, but the first game can be a bit of a feel-out game, and it doesn't always like project what is to come for the rest of the series. But I'm trying to think back to that Pacers-Knicks game because the reason why this feels different is because at a certain point, the Pacers found something.
They were just eviscerating the Knicks.
Right.
They're down 20, yeah.
So I guess that's, to me, is what I was looking for. And my quick like rewind in my mind is like, what can I say that the Pacers found offensively or defensively? It didn't feel like they found something.
No stopping Obi Toppin.
Yeah, that's it. And if you need to replicate Obi Toppin lights out, it's going to be tough to continue to do it. But I mean, I guess to your point, it's still, they're two NBA teams. It's going to be hard. It gets much more difficult.
NBA Finals teams.
Yeah.
They're like,
but I mean, any NBA team is like, it's going to be hard to knock off any team that many times. And once you give away a game, it feels like it makes it really difficult. It'll be interesting to see what the odds do going forward. There's a couple of stats that were tweeted out that I thought were interesting. Our friend Kurt Goldsberry sent out that the Pacers led this game for 0.3 seconds.
It's crazy.
Is puts into context how dominated they were for much of this game. Josh DeBow pointed out that they were up by 9 with 2:52 left in the game. And in NBA history since 1997, the record for a team that is trailing by 9 with that much time left is 0-121. So it does feel.
Now it's 1-100.
Yeah, prior to tonight.
Yeah,
1-100.
I mean, it's just like I'm really torn on this because I do think the Thunder are better. I think they have so many more options, but I just can't also imagine the Pacers turning it over 25 times again. I can't imagine they're gonna have the same 3-point dominance also, but like I think the Thunder are going to win this series. I'm now, real shocker after they lose game 1. I'm much more bullish on this being a closer series than, it's going to be over in 5, guys. Like, I'm not going to disrespect the Pacers and say that. And like, Siakam is a really impressive physical player when they go small. Like that Siakam Obi Toppin lineup really worked against this Thunder team. And we were like, what did they find? Maybe that's it for spurts like this, that they're going to be able to generate offense and make OKC uncomfortable and have to play a way they don't want to.
I immediately jumped to the Obi Toppin 3-point number and saying that's hard to replicate. But if you look at the OKC numbers, it's like, well, Dort is a great player, but it's also hard to assume that Dort's going to shoot like that going forward.
Yeah, but also like Jalen Williams didn't have his best game. Shea did not have his most efficient game. I know if you look at the box score at the end, and he had some unbelievable takes at the end of the game where he was, getting to the basket and slithering through people and finishing through contact. But like, Jalen Williams was largely ineffective. Chet was 2 for 9, 0 for 1 from 3. Shea had 18 shots in the first half and wasn't all that effective. I mean, he had a ton of points, but he wasn't all that efficient. I think that they will play better offensively. And I think that, we'll see if they continue to start Kason Wallace or if they're going to go back to their 2 big lineups to start or what they're going to do with that.
Chet missed that layup, too.
Yeah.
I was thinking about when he
could have
broke
dunked
the press.
it. Yeah.
He missed that layup. I imagine he's not going to sleep well thinking about that.
I love Kason Wallace, but he was 3 for 9 in that game. And that's too much 21-year-old Kason Wallace shooting the ball.
He was a minus 13. To the degree that you respect plus minus, he was by far the worst. Only person that was close to that or tied with that was TJ McConnell, who as soon as he stepped on the floor, could not keep the ball in the Pacers' possession, and you said we probably won't see him again for the rest of the series. So that's...
I know, but then he played decently in the second half, and I was like, that's what I get for doubting you, TJ McConnell.
I mean, in your defense, he ended up minus... Oh, no, he still ended up minus 11 over the course of the game, so I'm on your side.
But yeah, no, I think it's... This is a lot more fun, by the way. For all people complaining about the media markets, it's first of all, I don't know if anyone's actually complaining about it, if that's a meta commentary of the media being like, someone's going to wish we had a bigger market in this.
But we're the ones who watch. So it's kind of a silly thing.
So but for all that, this could be a really dramatic series. And it didn't have the pomp and circumstance. The one thing I'll give that is I wish we had a stencil of the Larry O'Brien on the court. I wish we had a more of a big game feel because it did sort of. There were a little bit of Pac-12 after dark vibes for that. Are we watching Oregon play UCLA on the West Coast, which didn't feel super gravitas NBA finalsy, but I think we can get there with this series because these are clutch shots and incredible teams.
Yeah, the Haliburton clutch factor. I know that we talk about him like he is on a tier below all the top guys, and rightfully so. I'm not suggesting that Haliburton is Giannis or someone like that.
I mean, if he wins the championship,
who are you going
to put him behind?
It's hard to put him,
just Jokic.
It's hard to put him behind anybody.
Just Jokic.
Championship. But I mean, even Jokic wouldn't have had if you're using this championship as the thing to put him over, Jokic's championship win against the Heat wasn't going to be nearly as impressive of a single player feat.
I'm just saying, if he wins,
Haliburton's run through the playoffs has been insane as far as big shots are concerned.
If he wins the championship, it's we will think of him so differently.
Oh, we have to. But I mean, I think we already think of him differently. He's elevated a tier just in his clutch shot making.
He had 14 points.
I know. I know. It's funny because
and he was getting picked on defense for large points of the game.
This is the whole point that I was thinking of is it's a lot like that first game against the Knicks in that it wasn't really Haliburton, but Haliburton hit the shot at the end, right?
How many game winners would he have to hit with a stat line like this?
Yeah.
Could we see something where Haliburton has 3 game winners that win the finals and Siakam is finals MVP?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Siakam's the front runner for finals MVP. We complained about that. Or I don't know, you didn't agree with me when I said that I thought they should give it to Haliburton.
No, of course I did.
Oh, okay. I thought you disagreed.
Yeah. No. Wozni disagreed.
Oh, go.
I was livid. Our text thread with Wozni. He was like, Haliburton or Siakam had a great series, and it was it's all right, it's time for me to put my phone down. I was like, I can't deal with this. I will say this. For all the nerds who pretend clutch doesn't exist, get out of here. Just get out of here. Never talk again. Momentum. Okay, momentum exists, guys. Yeah. It was on those runs. It's an avalanche of points by the Pacers.
Momentum definitely exists. I mean, I think...
Hot hand theory, Pablo.
What did we yelling at Pablo about? Hot hand theory. Yeah. Pablo doesn't believe in a hot hand?
He did some Sloan talk about it.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Those people don't know ball.
Yeah.
Nerds.
Yeah, I mean this rules. And also you got to see Mr. Haliburton in the crowd.
Why do you keep calling him Mr. Haliburton?
I have respect for him.
You're old enough to be a dad. You don't have to call everyone's dad Mr. You're a grown man. His name is John.
I would call your dad Mr. Foxworth.
Well, I call your dad Mr. Kravitz.
Yeah.
But it's different.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're a grown man shaking a towel with your son's face on,
yeah. Of all the dads of NBA players, I would say John Haliburton is the most John of all the dads.
I think I might need to start locking in on this and start calling LeVar Ball Mr. Ball.
What's LeVar Ball up to now?
I don't know.
Hanging out.
Recovering from losing a foot.
All right. We're very tired, obviously. It's time to wrap this up before you take a shot at somebody that actually can
Nothing else you want to say about this? Do you want to project this forward at all?
Yeah, let's project it forward. We already projected it forward in our discussion of it.
Okay. Do you have any predictions?
Predictions, yes. The Thunder is still going to win. That's my prediction.
What's any series?
I think they'll win it'll be 6 games.
We went Thunder in 5.
Oh, we're going with a gentleman's sweep. Is it still a gentleman's sweep
It's
if you get
sweep if they win game 1?
Oh, so that was the last time that happened was that the 76ers? Was that the last time it happened? 76ers and the Lakers? It's the only one that I remember, honestly.
I'm trying to
because of the step over. Otherwise, like I know LeBron always lost game 1, but he never swept anybody in the finals, right?
Yeah.
Afterwards.
So I'm glad. So you don't want to spend an hour on Aaron Rodgers as a Steeler?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Because that's the most exciting and interesting thing that happened on the internet today.
Oh, yeah. This is me and Domonique got to our studios. Like, did anything happen on Twitter today?
So my daughter was graduating today, so from 8th grade. So I did not have my phone for much of the day, but like I heard about some things going on, and so then Charlie laughed at me because I was like, "Was there something going on with?"
I get like you not being the online guy. It's like that's great. I'm glad you're not online.
I'm not.
You're so much healthier and happier than I am for this. But
yeah,
no, this was a hilarious day to be online.
Yeah, I found out later, which it was nice because I didn't have to. I guess I would have liked to experience it with the rest of you guys, but like I was getting a haircut, then we went to the graduation, then we had a long dinner, then I came home and started watching the game, then I came here and was like, there was something about the president that was popping, and then you gave me the rundown, and I was like, oh, that was nuts.
Yeah, we got some fun football videos on the internet today. Travis Hunter with the coolest tip interception like possible.
It was incredible. I don't give a damn whether it's practice or not. That's really
no pads. Also, like taking that dive
to track the ball that way, and I don't know.
Yeah.
He's an incredible athlete. He's awesome.
Shedeur Sanders asking Joe Flacco if he likes to dance.
Yeah, you told me about that
clip, and Joe Flacco just turns to him. I mean, you can't see his face because of the helmet. But I imagine it's a look of utter disgust, and he says, "Definitely not."
So, if you're Shedeur, you call in Joe Flacco Mr. Flacco?
Yeah.
No, you can't call your teammate Mr.
Joe Cool.
Yeah, you got to give him.
Did you ever have a teammate who called someone Mr.? I feel like you must have had like a Southern, very polite teammate who was like Mr. Lewis.
No, hell no. It was never like that. It was
ever.
No, I've never. No, Mr. No, I mean, people would just make fun of you for being old. It was never that deferential. Like people are always surprised by that, particularly when I talk about like being on the Ravens with Ed and those guys. Is like the last guy on the roster would like make fun of Ed or make fun of Ray, and Ray would be completely cool with it.
Yeah, I mean.
You ran down.
No. I have another question.
Okay, is it basketball related or are we doing quick
hitters? Yes, it is basketball related.
Because I know at some point there's a clock, but
I just thought of it.
Okay, before you're gonna make us talk about Roland Garros, and we gotta get out of here before.
I wouldn't even bring it up.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Have you ever been on a team like the Pacers though? Like what I mean by that, where you keep winning games where it's like a 3% win probability, and you're like, is this lucky or is this like who we are? Like, did you ever be a part of a group or like witness a group like that where it's like, I imagine you're starting to convince yourself that this is your identity?
So I would say the closest I would say no to that question because there aren't very many teams like that where you get like the cardiac kids moniker where you're always coming back type of thing. But I would say the closest I got to it was when I was traded to the Falcons and Matt Ryan, they had just drafted Matt Ryan. And it wasn't even that they were comeback victories. It was we weren't supposed to win any games. Like we weren't supposed to win very many games that season, and we like ended up being pretty good and making it to the playoffs and playing well enough probably to beat the Cardinals in the playoffs, but we lost. And it was the happiest I'd ever been after a loss in my life.
This is right before you got paid?
Yeah, I was in a contract year, and I was pissed that we lost, but then I was like, oh, I didn't get hurt. I'm healthy. I had an awesome season. It's a happy flight from Phoenix back to Atlanta. I was the only one smiling. Everybody else was pissed.
Yeah. I imagine those like after playoff losses, the flights must really suck. The whole the NFL one.
I mean, the thing about NFL flights is if you lose, they all suck. Because there's so few games and you put so much into it. I've never been. I mean, playoff ones are even worse. Like I've been on one playoff loss flight where there was a physical fight, where it's like people are really on edge and and sometimes drinking, and then it gets out of hand. But most of the time, it's just like any flight home sucks.
Yeah.
After a loss. Flights home after playoff wins or any type of win.
Elite.
Oh, elite. We're standing up when it lands. You got to lean forward. You stand when it lands. Yeah, you got to stand when it lands. It's important to do this. And you lean forward and try to balance it. Oh, it's a great time.
You know what's crazy too is if you had stayed in Denver for longer, you would have been there for TiVo Mania, where you would have been like, this is not TiVo Mania.
Yeah, but
let's be very clear about this.
That would have been something, my man Tebow.
I mean,
your man Tebow.
I can't even imagine what it must have been like to be on that team, because you have to, at some point you start convincing yourself, like when you beat the Steelers in that game, you're like, oh, maybe this guy is like preordained to win a Super Bowl for us, but we also know he sucks.
Not at some point. And no, you don't. I'll tell you that you are inside this ridiculous bubble, I would assume. Any team that I've been on.
So these guys are in this bubble where Haliburton 6 for 7 on these game-winning shots, and Siakam's like, we have 100% confidence the ball's going in. That's his quote after the game.
They are in a bubble right now where they believe it as much as anyone.
Isn't that the scariest thing for the Thunder then? Because now they believe even more.
Yeah, well, I mean, nothing's scary for the Thunder because they suffocate most people defensively. But yeah, I think the delusion is there. We've talked about this before. Most everyone shows up to training camp. Like I'd say 2/3 of the league shows up to training camp believing they have a chance to win a Super Bowl. Or maybe it's different in basketball because if you don't got a guy, you don't got a guy. But when things start going well for you.
But now they have a guy.
Right. No, I'm saying all the teams.
Yeah.
Now like the Pacers have a guy.
But I don't think they thought they had a guy.
Yeah, well, they know they do now.
And they've got a guy's dad, too.
Here we go. Mr. Haliburton.
Mr. Burt.
Mr. Burt. Mr. Halley.
I mean, no, but like this is the thing. Like I'm sure that on these NBA ones, like there's such a gap when you have one of these top of the league guys. But I can't remember. I honestly can't remember an NBA run like this. Yeah. Like to me, this is incredibly unique. And like I thought it was going to be watching the first quarter of that game that like, all right, we reached 12. There's such a gap in the talent here. It's time to become a pumpkin. Yeah. And like the belief in the way that Rick Carlisle is like his adaptability to change lineups and get these guys to play at like the end of games with this like frenetic pace and how it seems to frazzle everyone they play that, oh, we're not going to go away down 15 in the fourth quarter. We're actually just going to like turn it up. And like, there's like this finishing kick that to me is the most interesting thing about this series going forward.
It'll be interesting to see like when the film nerds get on this, because that's one of my favorite things to do after important playoff games is search the internet for film nerds who break down like the actual adjustments that have been made. Oftentimes there aren't like significant adjustments, but like the style of play, the actions that they run, they shift. It'll be interesting to see if there was some shift. But I mean, to the point that we made at the beginning,
35-point fourth quarter against this defense.
But the offense didn't look better, right? Like, and maybe we're missing something. Maybe there was some schematic shift. There was some other way to approach this game, but it did not feel like they were doing something unique. But I mean, obviously we all respect Carlisle. Like we've been hearing that all week about that's like one of the few places where it felt like if the Pacers had an advantage, that's where they have advantage as a battle-tested championship coach.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like Thunder, 18 fewer turnovers, 3 more free throws, 15 more shots, 15 more shots within 4 feet of the rim.
Ugh.
3 fewer fouls. Had a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter and lost. Like if you're going into the locker room and you're that team, sure, you have things you can feel good about that you had the 15-point lead, but you're also like, that's not a game we should ever lose. Ever.
I think everyone except for Oklahoma City fans or anyone who bet on Oklahoma City, I feel like should be really happy about this outcome. Because if nothing else, we're going to see the Thunder tested again, which is great. Like the response to this will be tested. We'll see an invigorated and a confident Pacers team, which like all of that felt like it was in the balance. Like we were talking about early in this game, we were talking about the fact that, or the possibility that we could be looking at SGA having a Jason Tatum type run where his team is just dominant and he doesn't put up great numbers. And we're having a conversation about the MVP or is he on the higher level. Now we're in a situation where there's going to be questions asked of him specifically in that team, and he's going to have to answer them, which will be fun, right?
SGA, yeah.
Yeah, did I say
No, you're right. I was just thinking like, yeah, I mean, to me, there's those questions, and it's also going to be the secondary scoring one. Jalen Williams and Chet combined 23 points on 8 for 28 shooting.
I mean, but
to me, that's the bigger question.
Yeah,
that's nothing from those guys.
I mean, SGA, he wasn't. I assume he was more efficient in the second half, but I remember his first half was not particularly efficient. He ended up putting up near 40 points, right?
38 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 14 for 30 shooting, 3 for 6 from 3, 7 for 8 from the free throw line.
Yeah,
and it's not like perfect, but that's much less the issue than the other two guys.
But I mean, I don't think it matters what the issue is. When you are that guy, these are the situations that you're going to be put in, and it's going to hang on him whether we determine that it's his fault or not. So I guess.
Do you want to see Tyrese Haliburton NBA champion, Indiana Pacers NBA champion? Like, is a little part of you deep down being like, my God,
I mean,
this could be really funny.
I mean, yeah, it'd be pretty funny, pretty fun. Like, Tyrese, you got to go for the choke. When you hit that shot, you got to bring the choke back out. That's all I wanted. That's the only thing that would have made tonight better.
And do you think he can go through other other famous, like he can do the Sam Cassell big balls dance after the next one he hits?
He did that already. He
has done that one.
He got to do the Jordan over Elo jumping fist pump.
A Jordan shrug.
Jordan shrug would be good. Jordan fist pump. I mean, Jordan had 2 fist pumps. He had the jumping fist pump, and then he had the uppercut fist pump.
Yeah. Also,
Tiger Woods.
Yeah. If he's back in Indiana, he could jump on the scorer's table like LeBron did after.
I feel like Oladipo. On the scorer's table reminds me more, I guess.
Wade.
I was gonna say Wade, but then I also thought about your beloved Wizards had
John Wall
had a premature score. Like, they didn't even win the series, right?
They lost the game 7. Yeah,
but your beloved Wizards had a scoring table.
Yeah, that was my least favorite beloved Wizards team.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to end this on a sad.
No, it's okay.
It's all right. In order to make sure that you don't go home upset, Jaden Daniels.
It's throwing dots.
That's it. That's it.
The little people are like getting real hyped over it. Like real. I mean, it's a sexy spiral. Let's be real. Like then like you see like Debo's tuchus turning around, and it's like, oh, this is gonna be nice. This is gonna be nice. My boy's caked up.
Oh my gosh. It's definitely time to go now. Can we go home, go to sleep?
That's up to you. It's your show.
All right. Yeah, I'm determined. It's time to go home, go to sleep. Thank you so much, Charlie, for being here with me and doing this. Thanks to all the great producers for staying up late and making this happen. I love you, Podville. We out.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.